The cut of betrayal. In the heart of Soweto, Samson was a man everyone admired. He was strong like a lion, undefeated in every boxing match he entered. People said he had a gift, something otherworldly that made him unbeatable. But Samson always smiled and said, "It's just me and my God's given inner strength. As long as I am alive, I'm strong." One evening, Delilah sat at the edge of the boxing ring, watching Samson train. She was a journalist, beautiful and sharp, with secrets behind her smile. Delilah wasn't just there to write about Samson's rise. She had been approached by Mr. Molongo, a powerful and dangerous boxing promoter.
"I'll pay you a fortune, find out what makes Samson so strong. Bring him down, and you'll be paid enough money to set you up for life."
Delilah didn't want to do it. She liked Samson. But she also wanted the money, so she convinced herself it was just a story. One night, Delilah invited Samson over to her apartment. She cooked his favorite meal, grilled meat with spicy chocolate, and poured him glass after glass of sweet red wine. "Drink," she said, her voice soft and playful. "You work so hard, Samson. You deserve to relax." Samson hesitated.
"I don't usually drink much. It messes with my focus."
"But tonight, there's no fight," Delilah said, flashing him a smile that melted his guard. "Just us." Samson laughed and gave in. He trusted her. They talked for hours, laughing about childhood memories and dreams for the future. But as the night wore on, Samson's eyelids grew heavy. The wine was strong, and soon, he was fast asleep on Delilah's couch. Delilah stared at him, her heart pounding. The scissors were in her hand, trembling. She could still stop. She could let him keep his strength. But Molongo's promise of wealth filled her mind. "I'm sorry," she whispered, and she began to cut. The sound of the scissors filled the room, and Samson's thick, coiled hair fell to the floor. When she was done, Delilah sat back, staring at the man who had trusted her. She felt sick. The next day, Samson entered the ring for a fight. But something was wrong. His punches were weak, his legs unsteady. The crowd gasped as his opponent landed blow after blow. For the first time, Samson fell. His team rushed to his side. He looked dazed, touching his bare head where his hair used to be. The crowd whispered. Samson, the undefeated champion, had lost. Days later, Samson confronted Delilah at her apartment. His face was bruised, and his eyes burned with anger.
"You did this, why? Delilah, why? I trusted you with all my heart and I thought you loved me."
Delilah couldn't look at his face. I needed the money. Molongo threatened me. I didn't mean for this to happen."
"You didn't mean. You lied to me. You cut me down like I was nothing."
"I'm sorry," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. "I made a mistake." Samson shook his head.
"You didn't just cut my hair. You cut my trust. You cut my spirit. But I'll rise again without you."
He turned and walked out, leaving Delilah alone with her guilt. Months passed. Delilah tried to move on, but she couldn't escape the shame of what she'd done. She stopped writing stories and avoided the places where Samson's name was still whispered. One day, she heard about a fight in a nearby town. Samson was back. His hair had started to grow again, and he was stronger than ever. She couldn't resist going. The fight was electric. Samson moved with the power and grace that had once made him a champion. He knocked out his opponent in the final round, and the crowd roared. After the fight, Delilah waited by the exit. When Samson walked out, she called his name. "Samson," she said, her voice shaking. I don't know how to fix what I did. But I want you to know I'm sorry. Truly I am very sorry." He turned to face her, his expression unreadable.
You don't fix betrayal, Delilah. You live with it. Just like I've had to live with what you did to me.
"But how did you find your strength again?" she asked, tears in her eyes. Samson smiled faintly.
My strength was never in my hair. It was in me. You just made me remember that.
As he walked away, Delilah stood frozen, watching him disappear into the crowd. She realized she had destroyed something beautiful, but she also knew Samson was right. He had found his strength again. And now, she would have to find hers, though she knew her redemption would be a lifelong battle, just like Samson's, a true depiction of the mighty man Samson of old in the Bible.